Dr. Harmony Jenkins adjusted her lab coat and stared at the holographic data floating before her. 3 weeks aboard Space Station Meridian. And she still couldn't believe she was here, humanity's first xenobiology specialist assigned to the Galactic Science Coalition. The coalition had accepted Earth only after decades of debate about human readiness. Now it was her job to prove humans belonged. The lab door hissed open. A tall figure entered, skin the color of burnished copper with subtle ridges along the temples. Professor Vordak, the station's senior physiologist. "The human specimen," he said, voice like velvet over gravel. "I expected someone ... different." Harmony smiled. "Different how? Bigger? Smaller? More appendages? Less resilient? Your species' claimed endurance metrics cannot be accurate. I assure you, Professor, humans are quite capable." She gestured to her workstation. "My research is open for review." Vordak moved closer, a subtle scent like cinnamon and electricity emanating from him. "Research can be manipulated. I prefer direct observation." Their eyes met. Something electric passed between them. Scientific curiosity. Perhaps something more. "I'd be happy to demonstrate any aspect of human physiology you find questionable," she said. Vordak's ridge brows lifted slightly. "Starting with claimed cardiovascular endurance? No sentient species maintains your reported recovery times." Before Harmony could respond, alarm klaxons blared. The lab's emergency lighting activated. "Station breach, Sector 7, announced the automated system. Security compromised." Vordak's posture changed instantly. "Raiders. They target research facilities for biodata. What do they want?" "Everything. Especially rare specimens." His eyes fixed on her. Like Earth's first xenobiologists, the lab door locked automatically. Vordak moved to a concealed panel, revealing an emergency weapons cache. "Can you fight, Dr. Jenkins?" She took the offered plasma pistol. "Call me Harmony. And yes, space training includes combat basics." "Good. We have approximately 4 minutes before they override this sector's security." Harmony accessed the station schematics. "There's an emergency shuttle bay 2 levels down." "Agreed." "Our best option?" They moved through maintenance tunnels, the sound of weapons fire growing closer. At an intersection, 3 raiders appeared humanoid, but with mechanical augmentations, visible through torn environment suits. Vordak fired first. Harmony followed, her shots precise. "Impressive," Vordak noted as they continued. The shuttle bay was thankfully empty. Only one small craft remained. "You pilot," Vordak said, taking the defensive position. "Meridian Control. This is Professor Vordak requesting emergency departure clearance," Static answered. The raiders had disrupted communications. Harmony initiated launch sequence. Manual, override engaged. The bay doors opened to the void of space. As the shuttle cleared the station, weapons fire erupted behind them. The craft shuddered violently. "Engine damage," Harmony reported. "Navigation compromised." Vordak moved beside her, their shoulders touching. "There's a habitable moon in this system. If we can maintain this trajectory," the console exploded in sparks. As Harmony was thrown backward, Vordak caught her, his body curling protectively around hers, as the shuttle spun toward the distant moon. "Hold tight," he whispered, his arms surprisingly warm around her. "Your human endurance is about to be tested." Survival's unexpected heat dawn broke over strange purple mountains as Harmony regained consciousness. Pain lanced through her shoulder. The shuttle lay in pieces around them, smoke rising from twisted metal. "Don't move too quickly." Vordak's voice came from behind her. "Your collarbone is fractured." She turned carefully to find him applying a medical gel to her injury. His face showed strain, a dark fluid seeping through a tear in his environmental suit. "You're injured," she said. "Ah, minor. Your human fragility concerned me more." Despite his clinical tone, his touch was gentle. The gel warmed against her skin, relief spreading through damaged tissue. "The raiders?" she asked. "No signs of pursuit?" "The shuttle's destruction may have registered as fatal." He finished the treatment. "Can you stand?" We need shelter before nightfall. This moon's temperature fluctuates drastically. Together they salvaged what they could from the wreckage: emergency rations, medical supplies, a portable environmental modifier. The moon's gravity was slightly lighter than Earth's standard, making movement easier despite their injuries. By afternoon, they'd found a cave system offering natural protection. Vordak's species evolved in desert regions. He seemed unbothered by the heat, while Harmony struggled. When night fell, however, the temperature plummeted. "Your thermal regulation is insufficient," Vordak observed, as Harmony shivered violently. Yet another physiological weakness. "Compensate in other ways," she managed through chattering teeth. He hesitated, then moved closer. "Body heat conservation is logical. My core temperature runs higher than yours." When he wrapped his arms around her, Harmony felt immediate relief. His skin radiated warmth like a living furnace. The ridges along his arms created interesting textures against her skin. "Your heart rate increases," he noted. "Pain? No, it's a different reaction. Explain." Physical proximity can trigger various responses in humans. Some protective, some, she searched for appropriate terminology. Reproductive. His eyes widened slightly. "Fascinating. In my species, physiological attraction requires complex biochemical compatibility. And do we have that? Compatibility?" Vordak was silent for a moment. "Unknown. No Kelvari has attempted such analysis with humans." Harmony shifted slightly, bringing their faces closer. "Science advances through experimentation. Methodical approach would be required," he said. But his voice had deepened. "I propose a preliminary test." She placed her hand against his chest. Feeling the unusual rhythm of his dual heartbeats, his copper-toned skin darkened slightly. For research purposes, of course. When their lips met, the difference in body temperature created an exquisite sensation. His mouth was hotter than a human's, his taste faintly metallic and sweet. His arms tightened around her, careful of her injury. When they separated, both were breathing faster. "Unexpected," Vordak whispered, "but not unpleasant. Quite the contrary." His fingers traced her jawline. "Human adaptability extends to intimacy. Another data point contradicting our assumptions." It sighed. Twin moons rose over an alien landscape while inside the cave. Two beings from different worlds discovered that biology was merely the beginning of compatibility. 14 days on the moon, and they'd developed efficient routines. Harmony tracked local fauna, while Vordak analyzed the cave system. Discovering it extended far deeper than initially apparent. "These formations aren't natural," Vordak said, examining tool marks on the stone walls. "Someone lived here, following the tunnels deeper. They discovered an abandoned research outpost. Its technology decades old, but potentially functional. Galactic Science Coalition insignia," Harmony noted. "But no records of an outpost here. Not all coalition activities are documented." Vordak accessed a dusty terminal. "Some research requires ... discretion." The system activated holographic data filling the chamber. Harmony gasped. "These are cross-species compatibility studies. Genetic, cellular, neural, death, and physiological," Vordak added, accessing another file. Intimate data appeared, productive compatibility between divergent species throughout the galaxy. They were studying interspecies reproduction. Harmony's fingers traced the data streams. "But why abandon the research?" Vordak's expression darkened. "Some coalition factions consider such research taboo. Genetic purity movements gained political power 20 cycles ago. The same factions that opposed Earth's admission? Precisely." Harmony studied the data more closely. "Look, there's preliminary work on human compatibility, even before Earth joined. The raiders who attacked the station, they could be connected. If someone discovered this research was continuing, ... Their eyes met, understanding flowing between them. What had begun as survival, then curiosity, had evolved into something more complex. Their tentative intimacy carried implications beyond personal discovery. "We should rest," Vordak suggested, though neither moved toward their makeshift sleeping area. Instead, Harmony stepped closer. We've been conducting our own compatibility research. It's informal studies, lacking rigorous methodology. Perhaps we should be more thorough. Her fingers found the sensitive ridges at his temples. Vordak's breath caught. For scientific documentation, of course, this time when they came together, it wasn't just warmth they shared. Knowledge of each other's biology made their touches more precise, more meaningful. His dual heartbeats quickened against her chest. She discovered the neural clusters along his spine that intensified sensation. He learned the human capacity for prolonged intimacy wasn't exaggerated. Afterward, lying together on their salvaged bedding, Harmony traced patterns on his copper skin. "Your endurance is remarkable," he admitted. "Told you the data wasn't manipulated." A sound like distant thunder interrupted them. Approaching craft. Vordak said, instantly alert. Multiple engines. They dressed quickly, gathering essential data. Through the cave entrance, they watched several ships descend, some bearing coalition markings, others unidentified. "Search pattern," Vordak observed. "They're looking for something, or someone." Yes. Hand found hers. "The outpost contains a communication array. We could signal, but who would we be signaling? Friends or enemies?" The ship circled closer. Whatever had begun between them scientifically, emotionally, was about to face its greatest test. Convergence of Hearts. The coalition vessel, Harmonia, hovered in geosynchronous orbit above New Geneva, Earth's diplomatic capital. Inside the ship's conference room, Harmony and Vordak faced the Scientific Ethics Committee. "Your findings are?" "Unprecedented," said Director Tellin. A Merivian with translucent skin that revealed fluctuating colors reflecting her emotional state. Currently, she displayed skeptical purple hues. "Yet verifiable," Harmony replied. "The data from the Moon outpost provides historical context. Their rescue had come from a coalition patrol responding to the station attack. When raiders followed them to the Moon, a firefight ensued. Harmony and Vordak escaped with the research data. Though not without cost, Vordak still walked with a slight limp from a plasma wound. The compatibility between human and Kelvari physiology extends beyond theoretical," Vordak stated. "Our personal research confirms this." Comfortable murmurs rippled through the committee. Director Tellin's skin flickered orange. "Your personal research violates coalition protocols on cross-species relations." "Those protocols are based on outdated prejudices," Harmony countered. "The same prejudices that delayed Earth's admission." Before the debate could escalate, emergency alerts sounded throughout the ship. Medical personnel rushed past the conference room. "Unknown contagion in the crew quarters," announced the ship's AI. "Medical emergency declared." Harmony and Vordak exchanged glances. Without waiting for permission, they followed the medical team. In the crew quarters, several officers lay unconscious, their skin displaying mottled patterns. "Quantum radiation poisoning," the chief medical officer declared. From the raiders' weapons during the rescue operation, it remained dormant until now. "Standard treatments?" Director Tellin asked, "ineffective across multiple species." "The radiation has unique properties." Harmony stepped forward. "The outpost data included research on cross-species medical applications, including radiation treatments that utilize cellular compatibility factors," Vordak added. Reluctantly, the committee granted them access to the medical lab. Working together seamlessly, they synthesized a treatment derived from their compatibility research. The solution required both human and Kelvari biological components, literally their combined DNA. Hours later, the affected crew members began recovering. Director Tellin approached them in the observation room, her skin now a thoughtful blue. "Your connection. Save these lives?" "Science advances through cooperation," Harmony said, "not isolation." Vordak's hand found hers beneath the console. "And sometimes the most significant discoveries occur where least expected." Director Tellin noticed the gesture, but made no comment. "The committee will reconsider your research proposal. Perhaps there is merit in exploring these compatibilities further." After she departed, Vordak pulled Harmony into an empty corridor. "They fear what they don't understand," he said softly. "Then we'll help them understand." She touched the ridges at his temple, a gesture that had become intimate between them. One discovery at a time, his arms encircled her waist, beginning with a formal research partnership, and perhaps something more personal as well. Their lips met, sealing a promise that transcended species boundaries. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together as scientists, as pioneers, and as partners whose hearts had converged across the stars. The Interstellar Science Academy's Grand Hall buzzed with anticipation. Beings from across the coalition gathered for the inaugural symposium on cross-species medical applications. At the center of it all stood Harmony and Vordak, now co-directors of the newly established Human Calvar Research Institute. Harmony whispered, adjusting Vordak's ceremonial academic collar. "Calvari do not experience nervousness," he replied, though his dual heartbeats quickened beneath her touch. "Of course not. Just like humans don't experience smugness when proven right." His ridged brows lifted in the expression she'd learned meant amusement. "Your endurance extends to verbal sparring as well. 1 year since their rescue, 9 months since their research received official coalition approval. The path hadn't been smooth. Traditionalists still protested, claiming natural barriers between species existed for evolutionary reasons. But the medical applications developed from their work had saved too many lives to be dismissed. Director Tellin approached, her skin a serene green. "The delegation from Earth has arrived, including your parents, Dr. Jenkins." Harmony tensed slightly. Though her parents supported her work professionally, they'd struggled with her personal relationship. Traditional Christians from rural America, they'd needed time to adjust to their daughter loving someone from another world. "Thank you, Director. We'll greet them immediately." As they crossed the hall, Vordak sensed her anxiety. Their last communication seemed more accepting. "My mother asked if our children would have copper skin or ridges," Harmony said with a small laugh. "I'd call that progress." "And how did you respond?" "That while genetic compatibility exists, physiological reproduction between our species would require significant medical intervention." Scientifically accurate answer. "But I also said we were considering options for the future." Vordak stopped, turning to face her. "Are we?" Around them, the crowd flowed like water around stones, giving them a moment of privacy in the public space. "I believe in exploring all scientific possibilities," she said softly, "including family structures that transcend biological limitations." His copper hand cradled her face. "Your capacity for adaptation continues to astonish me." "Human endurance," she reminded him. "It's what brought us together." When her parents appeared through the crowd, their initial hesitation dissolved at seeing their daughter's evident happiness. Her father shook Vordak's hand firmly, while her mother attempted a traditional Calvari greeting, her pronunciation making Vordak's ridges darken in pleased embarrassment. Later, as they delivered their keynote address, Harmony surveyed the audience, humans and aliens, scientists and diplomats, skeptics and supporters. She and Vordak had prepared extensive data on their research, but in that moment, she deviated from their script. "The greatest discovery we made wasn't in genetic compatibility or neural pathways," she said. "It was learning that connection transcends biology. That understanding requires not just observation, but participation. Not just analysis, but empathy." Vordak continued seamlessly, as attuned to her thoughts as her own. "What began as scientific curiosity became something more enduring. Something that challenges us to reconsider not just what different species can achieve together, but what we can become together." Their hands joined publicly, a gesture now recognized throughout the coalition as the symbol of their institute and of a love that had proven as resilient as it was revolutionary. In that moment, as applause filled the hall, they knew that whatever challenges awaited, their endurance, both scientific and emotionally, would meet them together.